welcome everyone, and we have forum. And the first item, before we approve the minutes, we have election of officers. Which we continue our tradition.
Yes. So I have reached out to both of our prospective candidates and both are willing to serve. They are not at the meeting, so it's going to be one of those meetings. If you all nominate them, they don't get it, say no.
Yeah, well, they already told you yes, anyway, so.
It's good. But yeah, I talked to both Chris and Ryan just to, when they told me they were going to be here tonight, to make sure like this is going to happen at the meeting. You guys okay with doing the roles? And they're both, so it's
Ryan for president.
Chris for chair and Ryan for secretary. Somebody wants to make that nomination.
I move that we elect Chris to be the chair of our commission and Ryan to be the secretary of our commission.
Second. All in favor or? All in favor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep.
Woo-hoo. I'm done. Thank you, Lord. It's hard. Payroll is paying me very much. And the next item, we have approval of minutes from the following meeting, which is June 13th.
Judy did submit a couple of comments for edit. I did clean up the here and the header of the folks that were here and not here. And then you gave me a couple of your grammatical ones that are in there, so we're ready to go. Unless somebody else found something.
Move we approve as suggested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, I
Alright.
have public comments of items that are not in the agenda.
Everybody here, I think is either here because they want to be or are part of the meeting, so.
Not on me. Then items for discussion, we have airport construction projects, FAA grant.
Well, I was really hoping to be able to say that runway 1230 was unfortunately a little bit more time. Carl, you were just out there. I was out there late to talk this afternoon.
Yeah, the lights they've got the temporary light, the ones that are back ordered were an odd color, but we only needed because we displaced the thresholds. Those are back ordered despite being ordered early September of last fall. They said they'll be in August, but they did find temporary ones, and those seem to all be up. They got the pappies on the mounted. He has still not completed what they call the counterpoint system, which is a grounding system. And they still have not mounted the reels on the foundations, but the foundations and pads are poured. That is when they get that up, we could actually turn the runway light on, but we have to flight check the pads and reels, and they will at the same time. They'll actually flight check the lights too, which is a new thing. But to open the runway, I was hoping Mike and I walked with the superintendent for the contractor Tuesday morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the list was that big to get the runway open, but the things, and it was just fill in a few holes, do some minor grading around the runway, pick up some rocks and things like that. And we could have opened it for day only because the painting's been done for a while. But they didn't do any of those items in the last 2 days. So I'm going to call her and say, oh, yeah, we could open the runway, but now when they're working, but now that the lights are all up and he's basically everything within the safety area that he can do, but the lights will probably be done until the new ones come in. So it's just a matter of, I hope they're not thinking they can wait to do the fine grading, pick up rocks and everything there until it's time to get in the seeding window. They're going to have to come and do that now and then come back and seed it when we're back into the DOT seeding window. So I'm going to make that clear to them.
And they should, don't they have some sort of proposed?
Yeah, and they're at that now. So they're over right now. So we're in potential liquidated damages on them. They know that. So I'm going to remind them of that again. We told her that Tuesday. I'm going to remind her again tomorrow.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
So as far as opening it at night, that won't happen until
Well, we can There's, I can't find an actual reg that says just the lights they have to, like, they have to like check the passes and the reels.
Okay,
So we're probably going to look, and if we can't find anything that actually requires it, we can open it just for night. I mean, you didn't have passes and reels before. So, you know, just laying it at night. Now, when they get they'll have to close it down for a few hours when they replace the lights when the kind of permanent ones come in. But there's a handful out there that won't be LED, they won't be new.
Yeah.
And, until those come in. And then we do have to schedule the passes and the reels for the FA light check, and then they'll check the actual light system at the same time.
that sounds fine. So it could be in just a few days.
Yeah, I was hoping we could open one of my bikes today.
Yeah.
I like Mike, they have that little to do yet, but
Okay, great.
Solar power project.
Solar power project met with the contractor, the last Monday of June. Basic rough schedule is we're probably looking at Labor Day for the install. But they are getting supplies, they are getting things ordered and lined up and contracts are signed and redistributed. So from that end, we're ready to go. And if they can get stuff earlier, then they will start earlier, but that's kind of the general thinking of where we're at with that. It's probably late, and then there'll be at least 30 or 45 day contract. So it should be out. Minium still has to do some work out there. They're replacing the transformer in that building to upgrade it. So we have both of the systems, the one that runs the runway lighting and then the one that connects to building D active. If they don't get that done, we can have one of them. So we'll have the runway system regardless. But okay, that's where that is.
Terminal building.
Terminal building threw this one back in just because the FAA did open the window for the grant application process for our terminal building grants, competitive grants. We are, again, as we've discussed multiple times, going to go back for another try at the terminal building grant funding. Carl and I have talked a little bit about putting something together, doing some updates to what we submitted last fall, and
Did you get any feedback from the last?
Unfortunately, I didn't, but talking to a couple of folks, I think there's some other things that other areas have done, like putting together like a FAQ of things for like our regional airport staff to be able to use to help fight for these projects. And then doing like a picture slideshow type presentation where you can kind of show a little bit of what's going on, what we have and what we're trying to get to make the process of especially being able to give our regional FAA staff the tools to fight it at the national level and support. And then we'll reach out to our congressional folks as well and say, hey, we're trying to get money for this. It'd be nice if you guys could lend a hand too.
And then we also kind of involve the university and they kind of offer assistance for that. Reach out to their legislators that they have contact with for university matters, so they can advocate for us.
Yeah, so I think we'll have a few more people going to that for us. And we'll see how it goes.
And how about other businessmen with flying?
At some point it becomes overreach or over capacity. So I think that the people we're kind of targeting to help are probably the better tools of those that have a little bit more impact. If it was a little bit more local, I think some of the business peeps, the corporate types would probably be great. But I think in this situation, our legislators are going to be our best tools. DOT grant projects, mainly just cleaning up the stuff we've done, closing out the projects, and then I am working with IPAA on a funding proposal that we're going to present to the state legislature for money for future funding of DOT grant programs, but not a whole lot there. If we do have something, again, the next round of DOT grant application will be next April-ish. If we have something that comes up between now and then, if folks have ideas, we can either talk about them at a future meeting, or you can send them my way so we can kind of research pricing. You know, a lot of it still depends on whether or not we get this funding for the terminal program. And if we don't, then we're going to be sitting on a little bit of a stack of CIP dollars that have built up the last couple of years. That we might be able to go after some alternative means of dealing with terminal building, or some other hangar infrastructure, things like that. So
Either one of those are great.
yeah, I mean, it's not like we don't have a shortage of things.
Project to do, yeah.
So the landing on the grass, will that cover some load?
Not really, because it's that's gonna be more internal permissions with the FAA, that there's not a whole lot we have to do. That's gonna be great, you know, the wording.
And airport operations?
Budget, our budget is pretty critical this year, and probably will be next year, just the way it is. We'll do a little bit of a deep dive next month, in preparation for our fall budget preparation, but getting kind of the final bills through the system at the end of June, early July, that kind of cross over those fiscal years, and then I'll have some stuff, but it's we need money.
What happened with the money that we were gonna get back for the foundation? We got that
Yep.
money back, and
Yeah.
even with that, we still.
Oh, yeah, because that was purely for the earlier.
I know, but I
That
thought that we were tight last year because we had to put it out of our pocket. But then once we put it back in, we're gonna be a little more comfortable. But it didn't happen.
Well, we had a couple of things that happened, the area we were in there, but shorted out. We had a couple of roofing issues on buildings that needed to be repaired.
Okay,
So
so
there, yeah.
repairs.
You weren't here for the discussion
No.
of the sudden major expenses.
Yeah.
You couldn't,
So it's off of
How
the
far
ones
the
that,
whole are we looking at for the end of the year?
I mean, at the end of this year, it's not too bad, but last year we're,
you said it was close to 12,000 or so.
well, it's gonna be close to probably 30 or so.
Oh.
At the end of everything. It's, yeah.
It's too car wash.
And if you look at the budget we have for 25, we're doing okay. We have the mechanisms in place that, again, you know, a large chunk of our funding that we're using in 25 was to buy the broom for the tractor. So kind of one-time expense there. So like we can see where things are okay. It's just gonna be a year that is rough to get there.
So please take care of it.
Yeah.
Don't break anything.
Don't break things. So far, we're doing okay.
Awesome.
Management strategic plan, I was gonna do a little bit of a strategic plan review, but with Chris and Ryan out, and we'll save that for next month. Hopefully everybody's there, but otherwise, it's just more of a refresher on what we had in our strategic plan within the last fiscal year. You know, what the plans are for the next one.
And that will probably give us idea about the EOT grant project after we review the strategic plan.
It very well could.
So do you want to go ahead and put that one as well again?
Sure.
The next meeting. And events.
Events, this weekend is our drive-in movie, so come out to the airport, watch Barbie on the side of the hangar. Matt's the guys getting,
I'm sorry.
Matt and the guys will get the area prepped. I know that the porta potties were dropped off earlier today, so it should be pretty straightforward. Then we'll have pancake breakfast at the end of August, and there's a couple more autocross events in September, but for the most part, the major stuff for us is starting to wrap up.
And FBO.
Sorry, I was gone last month. But yeah, airport stuff and well, pretty good. We've had lots of, our trees up front with their state, every storm, we have a fairly significant amount of pickup and chopping up and taking away. But it seems like every storm we get at least one half of a tree that's down. So it'll save on the eventual removal of trees. You know,
Right for a tornado to come through that whole thing and then the
Stop
terminal in the
short,
way.
stop for the heck, that's what anyone.
Take out the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so stuff like that, they did, mulching in the viewing area and then mulching around the FBO building, this kind of stuff. And out front, for the movie, they're gonna use like the small mower to cut that big area. They typically just use a big mower for that, but try to use something that's makes it look a little bit nicer for that event. So that's kind of that kind of stuff. We haven't done it yet, but we're, Stacey's filling out the paperwork tomorrow to do, we have the Oshkosh traffic all heading up for the big air show. Basically kind of starting this weekend, and then they kind of funnel back. Not next this weekend, next weekend, next week. So anyway, so we're, GlobalAir.com is like a promotional map for FBOs to put stuff on. The past, we like email blasts, and that's okay, but GlobalAir.com has like a map where you can look at it when you're planning your flights and see who has promotional and stuff. So that's what we're gonna try to do for all 4 of our FBOs, and we'll do a fuel discount basically. So they'll be doing that. And the board members for EAA was passing through here yesterday, just in a little airplane. He was super pleased with everything, gave him a car overnight and that stuff. So he'll probably post something somewhere about it. Well, that'd be ideal.
That's good.
But anyway, as far as capital expenses, I mentioned like our shop air conditioner, the last 3 years, we've been trying to nurse it along. And I think it's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Probably, it's like original to the building. And, so anyway, so I think that's gonna be probably something we aren't gonna be able to avoid. Cause it'll be 80 degrees in there with 7 degrees outside, so so I don't think it's working anymore, but anyway, so. Other than that, flight training has been busy for one reason or another. The charter activity has been really busy. It was slow for like the holiday week to a certain degree, but private activity, this week, people in and out, groups in and out. Lots more business trips and stuff for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just, it seems like it kind of goes in spurts where you have a holiday week and then after that, everybody's now trying to get their meetings done. But definitely busy, so that's good.
Going back to, what was it that you mentioned before the trip right now, the private trips?
Oh,
Travel, like
Before
charter,
the travel.
the Oshkosh event, people coming in and out for that.
Go ahead. I lost my train of thought. I was waiting for it and then.
preview of the Biden press conference.
Yeah, no, no, it's been good. We haven't had a lot of political activity lately, but anyway, at some point in time again, I'm sure, but,
Can I ask?
Yeah.
If you cut the bushes down in front of the airport, it says Iowa City, but it doesn't. say
yeah,
airport
I
anymore.
know, yeah, we did do that.
Can we just take them out? Can you
We-
take out a section of them and move those someplace else temporarily or?
We have tried topping them,
Yeah,
and I think last year we might have trimmed them,
they got trimmed
Away-
really low for a while. then
away
taken
from the
away,
side.
But they grew,
but they grow back,
yeah,
yeah, we need to do it
Just-
again, yeah.
I'm just,
No, I think it's a good, I noticed that too,
it doesn't say airport anymore.
yeah, because it grew up too tall, yeah.
I remember what I was saying.
Yeah,
About the air conditioning that you were talking about.
Yes.
The air conditioner. Do we get, somebody that do names on it from VCD? Or could come and kind of take a look at it and give a maintenance visit?
they've had a contract before with different people. right?
Yeah, there's a city contract for HVAC. Actually, I don't know if that's still active, but we have a couple of companies that we have come out and kind of check our stuff out. I don't know if Matt's gotten them called
No.
us yet.
This one, we had all 10
Yeah.
came out this time, and they, he kind of chuckled when he looked at it.
Probably old enough, but
They're old
can't keep
enough.
it going.
Well, I think the other problem is there's the Freon that it takes anymore is.
It's not supposed to be used,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's not, you can't replace it with the same thing anyway, it's, but yeah, so he was getting a quote, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen a quote for it.
That's the problem, I need to follow up on that too.
Yeah, because, but I mean, if you can get it to work for this year and next, and hopefully we'll get a new terminal for this, then you wouldn't have to be replacing an air conditioner. Then we-
Well, this is a shop building,
But then at that point, if we end up with a new
Doesn't-
terminal, wouldn't that?
That doesn't cover
No.
it.
Okay, it doesn't cover, oh, that's the,
It's all-
air lights all the way to the other.
You
side.
could have
Oh,
one from this building.
exactly, yeah, there'll be three.
Yeah.
There'll be three, yeah, that's true, I didn't thought about that. But yeah, no, we've been trying to nurse along. At this point in time, last time we ended up pulling the filter totally out. Because it wasn't able to even push through, so it's probably
It
that.
sounds like it's
Wow,
needing
that's
at
too
this
bad.
point.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, I'm not aware of anything that's super significant that we've got
Okay.
coming up. Of course, we never know, but.
we won't have anything
We won't have anything.
for the next week.
Any questions for me, guys?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime.
And commission member reports.
Nothing.
Not having.
Maybe you have just had a 50.
We had our 50th anniversary. I don't know if you want to put that in there, but probably not. It's not related to the airport.
Well, you are related to the airport, so.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Staff report.
Staff.
Just a couple of dates coming up, July 30th through August 6th, I'll be out of the office one more time for vacation number 2 for the summer. That one I'll be in Indianapolis for a week. And then the 4 states, the Central Region Aviation Conference, is August 21st through the 23rd. So that one is usually one I solo, just because it's a couple of days in Kansas City. But if anybody is interested in going to it, I can happily share.
My ride is in my
Agendas or-
overtime, so. Because there's more, because.
I still go there.
But other than that, I don't have anything else.
I have a question. August 14th is a Wednesday instead of a Thursday, or we should,
Did I miss the date? That might be my fault.
Which days are you gonna be out on this one?
I will be out June 30th through August 6th.
July.
July 30th, sorry.
And then when's the conference?
And then August 21st through the 23rd.
if that was easy for time.
No, that's purely my typo. It should be August 15th. That's the Thursday. That's actually, no, I'm gonna do that again. Because the second, it should be August 8th. Because that's the second
the second.
Thursday.
I will be out of the country. I'll be back for the 5th. During bubble trip,
Check.
I have not heard from the other two about August, so.
I don't know what vacation that is, I'll be. My mom would say, oh, you're in your prime time, so right now, it's like when you have to work, you don't take vacation. I'm like, I wish I could.
Yes, I'm okay.
We'll leave it at the 8th date.
8th, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Send us pictures.
There's not a lot of anything on going.
Yeah, you're gonna,
We'll see.
any committee, doesn't know. He already said yes. Anyone would like to adjourn?
I would like to move the meeting adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.